Well, 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 look who decided to come back to the channel. In today's episode of YouTuber Apology video, I'd like to apologize for my mundane manner of speaking. Apparently I'm not bubbly enough and probably have a short train of thought.
Perfect. Now that we have the short attention span people out of here, we can get down to business.
Now, why in the name of everything holy would someone do something like I just did? No, not what I did in the toilet, what I did in my camera, which, no, I did not do that in my camera. What I did do was I took some Lomochrome Turquoise, which is probably the weirdest, most out there film that anyone could hope to shoot, and I slapped it into my Fujica GL690. But one thing you'll notice is that this film is 35mm film, and the camera I loaded this into was a 6x9 medium format. To be honest, I don't really know when I was going to shoot this film otherwise. It was just kind of an odd film stock that I wanted to get creative with, but didn't really know which avenue to take it down.
So, in a supreme moment of weakness, I pulled out my dark bag, masking plate for 35mm film, and got to work spooling this film up in my medium format camera. I won't walk through the whole process, but I'll agree that this whole shenanigans of pulling out a dark bag in an airport looks pretty shady. And it's also very dark inside the bag, so double positive. Well, they say life is a lesson, so what can we glean from this photo? For one, I think the greatest thing about this aspect ratio is that it fits 5 people in the frame perfectly, and it isolates them from the ceiling and the floor, and really allows you to just focus on the 5 unique characters spread across this long negative. But along with great width comes great responsibility of making sure your shots are perfectly level, which this one is not, so please ignore.
Yeah, they look like Smurfs. Moving on to the next image that I took, I was already on the plane departing from my native lands, and I snapped a photo of this.
For those unfamiliar with this landscape, this is Narnia's snow-capped mountains. And if you're perceptive enough, you might be able to tell where I'm from based on my accent. Cotton, carton, button, Sir Isaac Newton. But back to the photo. I think it's interesting that everything in this photo was meant to be blue, but it shifted to orange. That's about all I've got.
If there's one thing you can hope for on a Spirit Airlines flight, it's that the wing will greet you friendlier and cheerier than any flight attendant. During our layover in Las Vegas, I decided to shoot some photos in the airport. Some of them had slot machines in them, others had people. Turns out that this film kind of hits in an uncanny valley of sorts where you see beautiful sunlight and you think, oh, that'd be a nice silhouette image, or that would be a nice halation glow. But because this film has such an uncanny element to it, you won't really get that peaceful or dreamlike image when you get a backlit subject. Here's what I mean by that.
Mom says she's going to the grocery store, but just landed in Las Vegas and wants to hit the casinos. This photo has 90% of the requirements to pass with flying colors, but ends up falling flat on its face just because the highlights are not the anticipated color and the shadows are all blue. It's impossible to feel nostalgia for this photo because no one has experience living in this color of world. So I think the main thing we can all take away from this is that portraits just do not work on Lomochrome Turquoise. The fun thing about film is that you don't know what mistakes you're making until you get the rollback, and then your mistakes hit you tenfold, and you learn a whole lot faster. Now listen up, Disney, because this one's for free. This is the story of Sir Isaac Newton, who discovered anti-gravity while standing in an airfield, where during his mid-afternoon nap he started to float, and no one ever saw him ever again. Look, I'll level with you. I can't really find anything else to say about this film. It turns things that are not blue, blue, and things that are blue, not blue. And there's not much else to say other than that. On top of that, my photography on this roll kinda sucks. The super wide aspect ratio is hard to manage, and I probably should have shot this roll in a different camera. But if any of you in the comments have any ideas of what would be a better use for Lomochrome Turquoise, let me know, and I'll be sure to give it a shot if the fancy strikes me. Also, be sure to subscribe, because at 500 subscribers, I'm going to be giving away a roll of Pro 400H or a roll of Kodak Max 400. Both expired films, but they've been kept in pristine condition and they're ready for you to shoot. So hit that subscribe button so you don't miss when that drop comes out.
So I guess to summarize this video, would I recommend this to my enemy? Probably. If I wanted to make them poor so that they would be impoverished by the time I took over their nation, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. It's just hard to imagine Lomochrome Turquoise being the film in my fridge that I reach for when I really want to get that banger of a shot. That's that from this episode. So I guess we'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye.